there, and it means they want to talk, right? Welcome, people who are
Thank you for
just
sharing that. Well, we did have one more question about the IKEA
where
house.
you live.
So,
But,
I'm
and
gonna
this is the
fix
kicker,
because I
you
want to be able to
decided,
wipe them off.
can you show us the room to the left of the kitchen? Just
It's
keep
so
the
weird.
camera on it. Can you share your work in progress?
and you're talking about us. Hi. Great to see you. Hello, Poughkeepsie. Hey, Fran. Great to see you. I'm so glad you could join. Fran Sussman. Nice. All right, we have a few minutes. Well, it's actually 4 o'clock. A few minutes ran out. That was really quick. Hi, Merritt. I thought I would have a little bit of time to say hello to everybody, but I do like to start these on time. But welcome, everybody, to this episode of Meet the Miniaturist. Before I introduce my wonderful, wonderful guest, I just have some housekeeping to do, and I want to thank Donald in advance because he's going to manage the chat box and put some links in while I'm chatting. Hi, Laura. I'm excited that you're excited and you're about to get even more inspired because Rose is awesome and I can't wait to chat with her. I just want to let everybody know that this episode of Meet the Miniaturist is sponsored by Minimaterials, which is minimaterials.com. If you don't know about them, they're awesome, awesome, awesome company that creates amazing little replica materials that can be used to build miniatures like bricks and cinder blocks. And actually, they have so much else. So you have to go check out their site. We're putting it in the chat box. The promo code is MTM15 for 15% off, which is a nice offer for the D. Thomas Miniatures community. So check them out. Check out their work if you don't know them already. So excited to have a sponsor for this. So so go check them out. Definitely click in the box. Also, just to let everybody know, I have become a featured contributor for Doll's House Miniature Scene magazine. I published my first article with them this month. So if you don't know about the magazine, it's a UK-based magazine, but it's got a world view to it. So that's where I come in. I'm basically reporting on what's happening in the US market, in the United States, in the mini world. But so go look at it. My first article is about the Stettheimer dollhouse. I've talked about it before, about this awesome dollhouse at the Museum of the City of New York. But my first article is going to be about my visit to that exhibition. And I'm also going to be doing a very special webinar, which is going to be a virtual walkthrough of my visit to the museum with videos and photographs and demonstration and talks about that awesome dollhouse. Going to put that in the chat box as well. Sign up for that. That is a pay-per-view event. It's happening next Saturday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But look for that. And finally, before we get to this awesome interview, is I've got a new estate sale happening. I came in contact with an amazing collector who had a beautiful eye for food miniatures. And I'm going to start with an estate sale of her Valentine's Day miniatures over the next several weeks. It's starting tonight on my eBay site. So I will put that link in the box as well. Check it out. These are some absolutely stunning bakery food miniatures that came to me from this collection, and if you're into food miniatures, go check it out. It's going to be awesome. With that, I am going to introduce my special guest, Rosa Moran, and say hello and to thank her for joining today. I'm so excited to introduce you. You are,
Hello.
when I came across your profile and found you online, just palpitations happened. Who is this woman? I just fell in love with your designs. I fell in love with your work. And then I heard more and more about it. And I said, I want to meet you and I want other people to meet you. Because I think what's so amazing about your work is it's got this great interior design aspect to it. And everything you do has that view to it. So I want to hear about that. I want people to hear about that. And so tell us a little bit about yourself, introduce yourself, and then we'll talk about how you got into miniatures.
Okay, well, thank you. I guess you said a lot of it already.
No.
I don't even know how I got into this, to be honest. It was just kind of a fluke thing. I've always loved to design. Like, I don't have any background. I didn't go to school for it. But I've kind of decorated my houses always as a designer. I did a little bit of design work for a friend because she was like, oh my God, you're so good. Can you help me stage some of the houses, some of my properties? Yeah. So I've done a little bit of staging for real estate. But again, that means like you have to work. When I got into this, it was like design, like, it was like playing dolls and designing, and everything that I love to do, I could do And it felt like if I wanted to decorate a room in my house and go buy a pillow, I could do it in little, and it would cost me half the money or less,
Yeah. So, but
and
wait,
it felt
so
the same.
did you grow up having a dollhouse? What was your exposure to
I played Barbies,
Barbie?
Barbies till I was about like 14,
Yeah.
and I designed their houses.
So you did.
I did that was my hobby growing up. Like I didn't build doll houses, but I played with Barbies and build their
Right.
houses.
Right.
And I always loved it, and I would have loved to work with that scale. It's just so big. But I would have loved to make a modern size, modern doll house for Barbie. Oh my God, that would have been a dream, but that's so big.
So there's that up until the time you were a teenager. Then fast forward, what did you have any interaction with miniatures? And when did you first?
Never. I mean, of course, I've always loved doll houses. That never went away. I've liked dolls since I was little, growing up. I had two boys, so I didn't buy doll houses for them. I wanted to, but I didn't. I don't know why. I would right now if I could. But I just kind of always loved it, but it never crossed my mind. Never did anything with it. Nothing until, like I said, a couple of years ago, out of the blue, I don't know how. I don't know how. It popped into my head to build one of those Amazon kits, the 1/24 scale ones. Those.
They give you pieces.
They give you everything. It's like a box. Right. And I didn't know anything about scale, doll houses. Like I didn't know anything about miniatures. So I got it in the mail. I had actually hurt my foot, so I was home all week and couldn't really go anywhere. And I think there was either a snowstorm or some kind of storm where you couldn't really leave anyway. And I was home from work. I couldn't go anywhere. I built that thing so fast.
You did.
And was so obsessed with it that I was like, I think I found my new hobby.
Yeah.
And I started doing research, and I was like, I think I want to go a little bit bigger because, of course, I try to change everything in this one, try to make it my own, changing all the little fabrics that came with it. But it was so small, such a small scale.
Yeah.
And for a new person to be doing this, it was difficult. Yeah. So I did a little research, and I ended up doing the 1/12 scale, the Magnolia home, and I haven't stopped.
Yeah.
Like.
So what I think is really interesting, what you're saying is you got this kit, but you wanted to make it your own. So it wasn't just about getting it done. It was like, no, I want to make it better. I want to make it different. I want to create something that, I had input to.
Yes, I wanted to decorate. Like that's what I think this miniature thing does for me, because I love decorating. I love to put aesthetics I love the house to look nice and to set the table and make a bed. I love doing that. So that's kind of what it did for me. It gave me that design, decor thing that I like to do.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't already looked into Rosa's work, it has an incredible interior design eye in everything from room boxes to the dollhouses. And you have several dollhouses, is that right? You have Magnolia you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
And then how many others?
I have a 1970s Walmart dollhouse that was literally it was a box that I redid. Like I was like, I'm going to keep the two sides and the floor, like the base, but everything else was like a demolish. I built that from basically scratch. Then my mother-in-law got me this humongous old, like somebody made that house, like for their daughter or something. I don't know. And she bought it, brought it to me. The base of it is 24 by 24. So imagine, it's huge. And it was completely at nothing. And I built that, the coastal beach house is what I call it.
Right.
And then I got the IKEA house, and the IKEA house I knew I wanted on the wall.
Okay.
And I was going to put it on this wall, but then one night I said, I'm going to put it over there. I'm going to build room boxes all over it.
All right, we're going to talk about that gallery wall, because I think that's another thing that just made my head explode when I saw it. Because I want to talk about the progression from the dollhouses to the room boxes, because you're pretty much focused on the room boxes right now. And
yes.
And they're essentially, for the most part, all these little squares and they're pretty consistently squares. And I think what's so amazing, and I think people should understand, is that to do a room box is a very manageable thing. A dollhouse
Yes.
can be very overwhelming. And
Yes.
I think what I would love people to know is that, something, it's still a lot of effort, but it's manageable. Is that right?
Yes.
Is it something that you find?
It's manageable, and honestly, the houses just take up so much room. And people were like, just sell them. But it's really hard. It's not something I want to do. I didn't do this for a business. We've talked about this several times, and I just didn't. I don't want to sell my houses. I don't know why. I just can't. I don't know.
Right.
And I didn't have, and not that I don't have room in the craft room, but you only have but so much room, and then you're like, oh, what am I gonna? I have one that's unbuilt under my desk because I just can't get into another huge project. Like you said, it's very overwhelming as well.
Right.
And
Right.
it takes, like, my last house, I think it took me like 10 months.
Right.
So once I started doing the wall and doing the room boxes, I loved it. It was easy. I could do so many different ideas. I could do whatever room I wanted. I could concentrate and put all of my effort into one room at a time without thinking it has to match or has to vibe or it has to go together with the rest of the house.
Yeah, I have.
And the lighting is also a lot easier to do in the room boxes, which I've always wanted to light the houses, but I tried to do the first house and I did a little bit of it with the tape, the copper tape. I hated it. I said, I will never, ever do this again. Never.
All right. Okay. I don't know what I want to get to first, but I think it would be great if we can actually go to see the art gallery wall.
Okay.
And folks, you guys know that the chat box is open. Let us know what you think. If you have any questions, we'll relay them to Rosa as she's showing us the gallery wall, which I think, again, it goes back to this whole idea about management and managing something so big, but then breaking it down to its individual parts makes it just so much more manageable. And I love what you said. It's like you don't have to have it all go together, but it actually does all go together because you created it all. All right, so tell us about the gallery wall.
So here is the little bathroom.
Okay, wait. How so it's a full wall of how many room boxes?
There's 1, 2, 3. Then there's the IKEA house, which has 4 little rooms in it.
Yep.
Then there's this one, the little baby room, and then the living room. And then I have one that I haven't put up yet, which is a hot mess because my dolls are in there, but I haven't put that one in there yet.
Let me ask you, is that gallery wall complete, or do you still find you're going to put another few up? Or are you, where are you?
It is not that's not complete. I actually have just bought another IKEA house, which is sitting right here, which is going to go right over here. And the top is actually, I'm going to modify it so the top's going to be a rooftop. So when you come out of this little room right here, you will come into the rooftop right here of the IKEA house. So then the bottoms will have the floors, and then the second row will begin of room boxes.
So you are planning a whole second row.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
And maybe a top one, but I don't know. It'd be hard to go up there.
That's awesome. All right, can we go through each room and just go in a little close so we could see each room?
Sure, let me try. Okay, so this is the first room. This is the one that kind of got me on the map on TikTok. The lights are kind of, there we go. So this is that wallpaper that everybody loves. I'm doing a giveaway today, so I'm going to give away this paper to somebody.
So we're gonna put your social media links in the comment section so people can find you.
Okay. So from here, I made the bed, all the little stuff in it. I made the paintings. I actually did these little paintings. I do the lighting. I did the little mirror. I did this little dresser, and I did the little nightstand, the little lamps. And then, of course, I get little things. Like I have a lot of friends on Instagram that send me things. My Mason, I can't think of her name now on Instagram, but my miniature Mason, I think it's called. Okay. But she made these little shoes for me. So my little dolls.
So everything we're seeing is essentially scratch built, like the bed.
Yes. Yeah. And, the furniture is usually I build. What I get is maybe these little things, like these are hard to make. I can't make this.
Right. And what are the materials?
This, for example, is just like an old pillowcase.
I'm like wood.
This is just wood. Like this is like a paint. You know the paint stirrers?
Oh
These
my
are paint
God, yes.
stirrers. Look at them.
See the grain work. How nice.
Yeah.
From the paint stirrer?
A
Nice.
paint stirrer from Home Depot, okay?
Good job.
This is an old sock. This little blanket. Like a sock I had in my drawer that had a hole in it. So I cut it and made a little blanket off of it.
I love it. I love it. All right. So,
Yeah, and like little pieces of wood, whatever, like any kind of wood. I use anything I can find.
right. And I see wallpapers that you find in craft stores.
I find it like Michael's, Hobby Lobby, AC Moore, wherever. So here's the baby room. Made the crib. I made this little dresser. I didn't make this little chair, but I painted it. I usually, if I don't make it, I try to change it up if I get it from somewhere.
Right.
And all the poofs, I have them on a lot of the rooms. My mom, she's a seamstress and knows how to make everything. So she mails this stuff from Spain because my whole family lives in Spain.
Oh, wow.
And she mails me packages of like little tiny things that I can put in my houses. How about that?
So it's a collaboration. I love it. I love it.
Oh yeah, my husband helps me. My sister is this little woman on the wall here on this.
Oh my God. That's awesome.
She's a yogi, and she's beautiful and takes beautiful pictures. So she sent them to me, and I made them into little wall art.
That's probably that's my favorite room so far.
I love this room. It's really cute. And the lights, I made all the lighting in it too.
It's just beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful,
And it
beautiful.
has the little door too. This one is really cool because it has a
So
little
those
door.
little boxes, the room boxes themselves, your husband makes?
Yeah, so we use here's some in that we're about to make. So he cuts the woods for me. I
Yeah.
measure them out. I'm about to here's one that I haven't started yet, but it's all cut out. So just that will turn into one of these.
Right. So
Something these are a little smaller. These are the ones I'm selling right now. So they're like key holders. I think I'm gonna make a coffee shop out of this one. Here's all the little miniature coffee stuff. So I have it laid out. Like as I get ideas, see, here's the paper. I've found some really cute paper.
talk a little bit about your inspiration and what is it like? What made you decide, okay, the next thing I'm doing is a coffee shop? Like, where does your inspiration come from?
I spend a lot of time on Instagram and on TikTok and on House and just follow a lot of designers, follow a lot of miniaturists. And when I start seeing stuff, I don't know, sometimes it just comes to me like, oh, I'm going to do this next. Like, I don't know, it just comes to me, you know?
Yeah. All right, show us these rooms. So there's no wait, you passing the IKEA
Here's-
house so fast? Yeah.
The IKEA house, I didn't light up, but I'm thinking of lighting it up. So I've taken down, look, all the chandeliers from the IKEA house are here.
Yeah.
Because I've decided I want to wire it. So see how the houses are wired on top. Like you can see the little switches. I want to do it over here. So I'm gonna fix those because I want to be able to light them up.
Can you show us the room to the left of the kitchen? Just keep the camera on it because I want to absorb it all. I love the wall of cow art. Oh my gosh. It's fantastic. Love it. Love it. And it goes back to your design choices, which are, they're great. I love the walls. I don't know what you call it. It's not wainscoting. It's like a
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, and I make it all with like wood, Now I have the Cricut. So the Cricut cuts all of this stuff for me. So I don't even have to cut the wood anymore. I just put it in and my Cricut machine cuts wood so I can do it 1/16. Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. This is like a little tag from like a clothing tag. So I do a lot of stuff with clothing tags. Like that's a clothes tag. This is another clothes tag. My friend gave me some cups and it came with this tag and I made a little book out of it.
That's a really great tip because those clothing tags are just so high quality printing.
Yes, and they're beautiful. Like, look at this cute thing. I mean, come on.
Yeah, so these are some great tips. So the Cricut maker, the clothing tags. Can you talk a little bit about the copper wiring? You mentioned you hate copper wiring, which
I hate it.
I would love to hear your observations. Why did you hate them? Why did you hate them?
My observations is that if you were just doing one room or whatever, sure, that'd be great. When you have to go up the walls and under the floors and you have to stick them together with those tiny little nails.
Yeah.
No, I can't. I couldn't see. I couldn't do it. I cried. Like I screamed. I cussed. Like it was the nightmare. Okay, to get like 6 lights in that house. So I said, I'm never doing this again. So then I got tips and other people's work. I saw that they used these LEDs, these little lights that I have in all the boxes. See?
So for the most
And
part, you're using LEDs, but they are hardwired?
yes, they're hardwired. So here's all the wiring. Like, they come out through the top, and then there's a little switch right here. I don't know if you can see.
And so you build that, you build that into the box when you build the box. We did have a question about how you frame up the boxes. Are they glued and screwed, or both, or one or the other?
I was doing them with these type of screws. They're like furniture screws, so you can, as I can take them apart, on, off all day long, and they won't, break. But they're kind of hard to do. Like, I don't know. I think I didn't have the right size, so I don't know. I didn't really like some of it, some of them came out. But now we're just screwing them in because honestly, I can do all the walls, everything. And then once I have them all pretty much prepped, ready to go, my husband will screw them all into a big box.
Yeah. Can we go back to that laundry room, please?
Yeah.
Because I think that might be my second favorite. And the cow wallpaper is just awesome.
The cow wallpaper.
Cow wallpaper. I just, these
and the cow rug. Look at that cow rug.
They're just really great design choices. That might not work in a full-size house. I don't think it would, but in the miniature, it really, really works.
Yeah. Well, I try to scale everything, and I use my dolls, which are to scale, to make sure that it would work in the real world. So if I go over here and I grab my doll, I could tell you I sit her, I stand her, I make sure that she has room to walk through the spaces. So, I make sure that everything in the room is to scale to her. So that's why I think their rooms look good. I think where people, like, when things don't look so great in miniature, is the scale. Because you could have something beautiful and then the scale is off between a couch and a table, and then something is off and you can't appreciate how great it looks.
I think that's a really great technique that you're using, which is to pull out the 12 scale doll and just actually walk her through and do that extra check. So you adjust accordingly, or do you find at times that, this is not working, and then you have to adjust?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I throw it away and start over, because if it doesn't look right to her, then it's not right in the house. Wow. She's got to fit. She's got to be at, height wise, see, like counter height. The chandeliers can't be touching her head, so they have to have enough room. Right. She really does work for scaling. That's really what I use her for. Plus, she's beautiful. I do love my dolls.
Yeah, it is a pretty doll.
It is a pretty doll.
12 scale dolls. I don't know.
They do. These people make some good dolls. The TD League, and I think this one is Palm Treasures.
Awesome. Yeah, they look good.
And
all
then
right.
the bathroom.
Next to the bathroom with that gold. Awesome.
So the tub I didn't build, but it was all gold, and I just redid it. The inside I did white, and I kept the gold on the outside and just did the legs white, and that's inside white. But that was like an Amazon find for like $5 or $6.
Yeah.
And it looks like $1 million when you just,
really
and it was to scale. That's another thing. I've sat her in there. She fits perfectly. So yeah. And this is a Lego pieces. I've also been starting to use Lego pieces. This is a picture from Virginia Beach my husband took. Where we're from.
And I think that's a really good point that you're raising, which is, not everything has to cost $1 million.
Oh gosh, no.
It's really about embellishing it and making it your own and making it look pretty and to scale and just putting all the pieces together. And that is an art. That is not a science. So, it is a skill to put all these pieces together. But the point is, you don't have to have, everything doesn't have to be the fine miniatures. that we
Agree.
talk about in miniatures world.
And to be honest, this gives it like a very realistic look because, I'm getting inspired by real house stuff and I'm trying to mimic real house stuff with my own spin to it because I do like to design, my own furniture and I like to design my own little decor. But I am getting like ideas from real house. So this is all in style in real life,
Right. And it goes back to that art gallery wall, which is, this is a breathing thing. It just constantly moves, right?
Yes.
Do you pull things out and put things
Yes.
in? You do.
Yes. This room was not built for this, belongs in another house. A lot of the stuff belongs in other places, but I do move things around because it's fun and you get to like decorate. So I change now that I have a lot of stuff. I can put. That's another fun stuff about the room boxes is you don't necessarily have to create a new box every day or every week or every month. You can take what you have and spin it around and put new pillows and with a regular house. You can just use the basic or change up the furniture and you looks like I have a new box every other day.
You glue down your wallpapers?
No.
You don't. How are they?
Well, this one's not glued. That might be glued, but none of the frames are glued. So technically I can glue over it.
Right.
This one, I think this one is glued. Yeah. Awesome. But most of it, I do glue. The back ones I usually do glue.
Right. So we do have a couple of questions.
Okay.
Where this was a mainly miniature shop. You did answer this a little bit, but where do you do most of your shopping? Where do you find your stuff? Where, I think we talked a little bit about this, materials.
I get a lot of my tiny stuff like that I can't make details on Etsy, AliExpress, eBay.
Yep.
Craft stores, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, and same with the wood. I get that stuff on Amazon. I have, links on my Linktree account for all the stuff I use on my tools. I have a Cricut now, which is amazing. If you're thinking about getting it for miniatures, totally worth it. I mean, I love it. It's so cool. It makes so many cool things.
We're going to put the link in the chat box to your Linktree, which mentioned had a whole host of resources that people can find that you just mentioned, which is fantastic.
Yep.
What was the name of the doll again that you got?
The doll is here's the box. I have it right here actually in this little cart. So it's a Villa 112 Palm Treasure.
Villa Palm Treasure. I'm going to put that in the chat box.
And she really is probably the best doll I have ever seen at this scale. She's beautiful. Like her face, I'll bring her again real quick so you guys can see how realistic. Because a lot of miniaturists do not like the dolls because, of course, the dolls look kind of fake. But this doll is not fake, guys. Look at her.
I know. What are those mostly? What, action toys? Like,
yeah,
what are they?
Yeah, like they're supposed to be action figures. So they, of course, move in every which way, and you can, do all kinds of poses with them for your pictures or whatever. But the realism and the scale of them is perfect. Like she's a tall girl though; she's like 6 foot in real life.
I have to agree with you. I have never really seen a doll that would kind of work in a miniature scene. So that's pretty great. I think that's fantastic. Okay, so thank you for sharing that. Well, we did have one more question about the IKEA house. So are those available online? You could just go buy them at IKEA?
You can buy them on IKEA. I went to the IKEA store and got one. They're $35 in the US. I know that they vary by price depending on where you are in the world, but you can get them online. They'll ship them to you.
And then you just assemble it. It looks like it's.
And it's so easy to assemble, and they are easy to assemble, to put on and take off and take apart. Because I have those screws that I try to use that I use on my room boxes. So they're like furniture ones. So you can take them off and take it on without, the wood breaking. And it's not huge. So it's, it's only 8 foot wide, like deep. So you're not I think in scale like a human being, but it's 8 inches. But of course, like you see, when I'm decorating, I'm thinking full scale.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Can you share your work in progress? You had all the plants out. There is a room box that you're working on. Do you want to show us?
Yes, yeah, I can show you.
And tell us a little
So,
bit about that. Is that a commission for someone?
no, I'm just want to do it. This is the one I have for sale. I just bought the boxes, so I bought a really pretty box today to ship it in. I mean, to pack it in.
Oh, that's
And
beautiful.
let me see. I'm gonna put it up.
Oh, so with that, oh,
So this one's the key holder one, and I have to balance it because you can actually put little lights. You can throw it. I didn't wire it that because I didn't want to. I didn't feel like it. It's just really because if I wire it and then something goes wrong and then I sell it and then they're like, oh, it broke. I don't want to deal with it.
yeah.
So
It's very tricky. It's very tricky.
it's very tricky. So I think with these, I'm just gonna use. I'm gonna sell it with this. So all you have to do is just stick it in there.
Oh, yeah, that's very smart. So
Okay.
we talked a little about this offline, but you do take commissions and you
I
do
need
have
two
an
hands.
Etsy site. There isn't a lot of product on there now, but you know, so you are available to make product, right?
Um.
And no, let's talk about that because I think
Yes.
that's a really interesting, chat about, the challenge between when you're making something for yourself and you're making something for someone else. Because
Oh,
and let's talk a little bit about the TikTok success that you've had. You've had tremendous success in a very short amount of time. You became TikTok famous. You have 116,000 followers on TikTok. You have 1.5 million views and
yeah.
likes. So, you kind of exploded and you do this for fun, but there is a demand from your fans, if you will,
Yes.
for your stuff. So it is, and it's hard to say no to people, but
It is.
you have a life.
Well, I think it's also I don't want to sell garbage. Like I don't want to sell something that I would not buy myself.
Right.
And I'm kind of like a perfectionist when it's for somebody else. For me, like if it's a little bit over here chipped, nobody will see it. My wires can like again, I didn't wire it because I don't know how to hide the wires. In my houses, I don't need to hide them because when I photograph them or video them, they're so you can't see them. But if you're gonna sell something, that I can't sell it like that. So then I'm like, I'm not gonna wire it because I don't feel like dealing with it. So it just becomes like one of those things that like you want to make it perfect, and you want to make sure that people are gonna love it.
Right.
And I don't know about you, but it seems like it's never good enough for me to sell. It's good enough for me, but not good enough for anybody else. So it becomes really demanding. Like I get stressed out thinking about, oh my God, I got to do this for somebody now. Like I didn't get into this for the business of it, for the followers or anything. It kind of, I love it. It inspired me so much. When I got followers, I was like, what?
Well, I have to say the reason why you're gaining so much popularity and so many followers is because you create very entertaining content. Full stop. It's not only the work that you're putting out, it's how you craft your content that makes it completely engaging and fun, and you just wanna. It just makes it that much more yummy. Your work.
Oh, thank you.
How you package it. It's like watching a good film or watching a good television show. You know what I mean? So you have all of those components working together. So I hear you what you're saying. It becomes a chore, but I would say, don't stop creating the content because the content is really so lovely.
No. And I really do love, of course, I love making the videos. I love staging and taking pictures. I've always loved to do that part. So making the TikTok videos or Instagram posts, that's fun. But when I have to sell something,
right.
that's not that fun.
I just wanted to sort of set the expectation because we put your Etsy site up, but we want to set the expectation about people who want to claw at you to make them something.
And I get a lot of messages every day, oh, you don't have anything for sale. Oh, where can I buy this? Oh, every day someone asks me for it.
Yeah.
And I would love to just be able to duplicate, make one and just close my eyes and hit a button and it just replicates it. But it just takes so much time and effort.
Well, we had a couple of people just comment in the chat box whether or not you would be open to doing classes. And that sort of solves a little bit of both those things. It's like you can bring your your work to folks who can do it at home, that
Yeah.
would be an interesting thing. I mean, it is not easy to pull all those people's pieces together, pull the wallpaper with them, so we had a couple of folks saying they would love to see classes, and I would love to see that too. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna love to see.
I would love to be able to do all these things.
And by the way, you have a day job.
And by the way, I work 40 hours a week.
I don't think we really even talked about that, but you have a day job, you have a family, you have kids, you have a husband. That's crazy.
I mean, my kids are grown, I have an 18-year-old and a 15-year-old, so they're independent, but, I still have to be a mom. And I have a wife, and not to mention my full-time job from, 7 to 4 every single day. So I just, this is literally on my, lunch break or on my 4 o'clock, I'm out and I'm turn around and I start doing stuff. And yes, I would love to do classes. I would love to have a shop. I would love to be able to sell everything and just have all this, but it's so much time consuming. Just listing anything on your Etsy shop, you're talking about taking pictures, making the thing, which it's fine, taking the pictures, listing it, then packaging it, mailing it.
Yeah.
I just that stuff such a turnoff to me, because all I want to do is create.
Yeah.
And I want to show the world my creations, but I don't necessarily, I almost want, if I don't give it away, because my husband would be like, girl, we ain't rich, but I would rather give it away than sell it, okay?
Because of all the pressures that it goes with it and all the expectations. So I wanted to make sure does anybody have any other questions as we sort of wind down this lovely chat? There was some questions to see the other dollhouses, if we could.
Oh.
There are 2. First of all, your craft room is fabulous.
My craft room is a hot mess. I didn't know I was going to show it. I should have known you better.
Pretty large room. Wow.
I think it's an 18 feet by 15 feet room, so it's huge. It's a huge.
That is a dream.
And in the closet, I do not big painting. If I have to paint something big, I'll take it outside. But I can do tiny little paints. I have all the plastic everywhere, so it doesn't.
This is a dream craft room. Oh my God. And you can fit 3 dollhouses in there and a spray paint room.
Yeah. So here's another big dollhouse. This is the biggest one I was telling you guys about before, the coastal one. That was literally, did not look anything like this. It was white on the outside. It did not have a double deck. I built the entire double deck, the flooring, everything. I put it on this table. My husband put it on the table for me.
That's the one.
Rebuilt it. No, this is the coastal one that my mother-in-law gifted me. This one took me about 10 months to build. It was huge.
Where was it? Was it an antique?
Yeah, I think it was an antique. It smells like it was an antique.
Oh my God, look at that. That is just.
So the layout for this was really fun to build, because I wanted to get it all open, and it was so deep. You can't this is 2 feet deep. And I don't have any good lighting in it, of course, because I suck at lighting. But.
So you pulled all the floors out?
Excuse me?
You pulled the floors out? It was like sort of a standard cookie?
Oh, no, there was no pulling out. I had to put these floors right in. The house, the frame was built. I couldn't take it apart. So I had to literally go in with the frame and build everything inside, like everything.
Are those barn doors you have in there?
Yes, and they were.
Killing me. You're killing me. Oh, my God.
They're like. They go actually all the way, because if you want privacy in the kids' room, it goes all the way over.
One, Laura says, "Quit your job, woman. This is the deal."
All right. I mean, if I can make what I make of my current job doing this all day, I would, but I don't know about that.
It's just awesome. That is.
So, and then this is the Walmart dollhouse. So this is the one that I redid. The whole front is complete. Oh, I can't move it home because I have to.
What we did not talk about is your aesthetic, your overall farmhouse aesthetic. Like,
yes.
That's really your sort of.
It is. It is my base. It's definitely my base. Okay, so this house is a hot mess because I've been messing with it, but let's see if we can get a little bit in it.
I love the brick.
There's my other guy. See, I have dolls everywhere to make sure that they're in scale. I made all this. This is made with what is that? What is this?
Sandpaper?
No, cork paper.
Yeah, cork.
So I cut all those individually out and glued them and,
I
did
love it.
all that mess.
So just talk a little bit about what are the features of farmhouse industrial design. Like, what are some of the highlights of it?
Plaid.
Oh, really?
Checkered. Buffalo. This is a cows and plaid. See, here's very farmhousey.
Right.
Lots of wood. Here's more. That little love sign. I have the same one in my bedroom in real life, so I made that from it.
That's
the
fantastic.
wall, very farmhousey.
I love that.
And then here's my very first house. This is the very first kitchen I built. A little bench.
Really nice.
And I've changed them around. I used to have a bar over here. That's why you have the little bottles. But this couch was somewhere else. I put it in there instead. So I've been changing. You change things around as you go, just to play. Oh, there's another doll. There's the boyfriend. He's very realistic too. Look at him. Super cute.
Really
great. He's so cute. I mean, a girl needs a man.
Yes, that is true.
Well, my girl needs a man.
Yeah, that's really great.
And here's my other man. But he has a boyfriend, so
we'll see that fireplace again.
The fireplace.
The washboard realistic abs. They like that. Yeah. Oh yeah. I love it. The fireplace is awesome. Really nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
Oh.
I love making mirrors. This is the one I made too.
Very nice.
It's just made with like some little wood I found at the hardware store.
Right.
And the rugs, I also just print them out. A lot of people have asked me about the rugs. I print out the rugs.
Print on paper, or do you print on material?
I print on material. I print on paper. I also print on iron-on, and then I'll iron them on. So now I have the Cricut, which cuts some fabric, so I can actually cut some fabric on there too.
That's great. Really nice. Wow. All right. So do we have any other questions? We're about ready to wrap up. We're at the 45-minute mark. I cannot thank you enough. This was just such a treat to get to see your work, to get to meet you, to get to see your art wall. And the comments and the feedback is so great. I will share this with you afterwards. But this has been so great. Thank you so much for joining. And for folks out there, I'm going to put links into my social media. I'm also going to put a link in if you want to contribute to this Meet the Miniaturist series. I'm going to put that in the chat box as well. And also, if you miss any of these episodes, I will have them on replay on my YouTube channel, which will also be in the link below. But once again, Rosa, thank you so much. We look forward to following
Thank you, guys.
your awesome work online.
Thank you so much, Darren.
Thank you for spending this time with us today. And everybody, live your best mini life is what I like to say. Each one. Enjoy the rest of your day. So thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Bye.